from Alvin Boyd Kuhn. Thinking which does not start from and continue in close relation to its foundations in the physical universe must lead to falsity.
That's right. So very similar in vein to Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti's work, and men like that. And Sri Aurobindo in India. There is one sage in India that took this stance, Sri Aurobindo. And what they're doing is they're Hermeticists. They're able to get a crowbar underneath the Gnostic principles and overturn them in favor of a purely Hermetic tradition. And what this means is just chucking out this idea of the hard dualism, at least between an upper supernatural world and then the lower world. It's not to say that there isn't a God or that there's not some sort of supernatural world, but we've got to rethink. The Hermetic adage is as above, so below. There's no higher and lower. And even if you don't perceive the higher and the lower, that's your problem. It's there in microcosm, and it might need different sensibilities, or at least, let's say, the strengthening of the sensibilities that you already have. In other words, another process of initiation, but quite different to the one that the Gnostics are talking about. And there's no need for any aversion therapy. You're just strengthening the kind of senses and the cognitive abilities, conceptual abilities that you've already been given. You are opening, as Blake would say, the doors of perception. You must microscopically observe the world that the Gnostic has discarded and he tramples on. And the inherent principle here is this. Where Kuhn and these people have the strongest message is they say it is by the dint of you believing that the world is lower that it becomes lower. What? Let's go to the next quote. Could you read that?
The real Maya. The real Maya or illusion is not in the natural forms, but in the mind's propensity to conceive or project forms created by its own inventiveness, but which do not agree with the truth extant or potential in nature.
Yeah. There you go. It's all over, folks. All that Eastern palaver that's been going on for millennia, you just saw it being overturned. You just see a big balloon being popped. All of it. The Hinduism, the Sikhism, the Mohammedanism, whatever they've got over there to sell you. All the towel heads and all its versions in the West. The whole of Gnosticism. He just pulled its beard. He just showed you what none of them ever understood. All the sitting on the beds of nails, all the deprivation, all the asceticism, what he called the cult of mortification, all the asceticism, all the holy temples and oblations and ablutions, all the priest-ridden fucking countries. Wherever it turned up its head, whether it's in Christianity or wherever, he just popped it. No, it's not in the forms themselves. It's not nature being lower. It's your thinking. That's the real illusion. The real Maya is your thinking that the world is a place of illusion. Because once you've convinced yourself of that, there's no turning back. And also, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The moment that you accept that kind of doctrine, automatically the world is darkened by your thinking. So the Gnostic is caught forever. Like some Twilight Zone horror story, Round and round he goes. Can't escape. He's never aware that his own thinking is illusion. And this includes the thinking about the body, the soma, not just about the world external. You're right. The Christian world, like we said, asceticism is based on the fact that you're also, the spark has fallen from a higher place into a lower place in terms of the body. And so it's perfectly all right to flagellate, to deny, to deprive, to run away to the desert. You see? To burn yourself up in the sun and eat nothing but cockroaches or whatever they get up to. Sit in a cave full of spiders and meditate your way out of it. Think that there's some demonic archon up there who's created this place with devils behind every tree. Animal. Anima is soul. Mal is evil. So animals are evil souls. You're surrounded by evil souls. And the Christian church believes this. And the Indians, oh, these fucking people over there, the way they treat animals, buffaloes, cows, dogs, it's insane. And the butchery in the West, not a tree has been left standing. See, the desecration of our planet, the hunting of ivory, the killing of the whales, this is the necrophilous, poisonous belief system. I'm glad I snapped out of it. You know, I light candles to men like him for helping me there. These words that he wrote are very, very heavy, very, very deep. Let's go on. If you could read some more.
Absolutely. More from Kuhn. Religion versus self-knowledge. Religion, obsessed with the idea of the supremacy and hegemony of the spirit, lost sight of this balancing qualification to the science of self-knowledge and attempted to find the more stable realities in disdain of and detachment from the outer realm, to a large extent carrying the straining effort out into an ideal vacuum and warping devotional life into eccentricities and abnormalities.
Yeah. The positing of the dualism. World of spirit, world of matter. One is higher, the other is lower. They can have no truck with one another. They're antagonistic. You have to spend your life reaching from one and hating the other. Which again, as I said, included your own body. Let's go on.
One of the most virulent aberrations resulting from the cult of anti-nature has been the exhibition of near masochism throughout the history of religion. The reference is to the cult of asceticism. With the full sweep into Western Christian consciousness of the doctrine of the sinfulness of the flesh, there came the preachment of the evils of the world, the flesh and the devil, giving rise to the pratique of self-mortification and brutal suppression of all natural impulses. To indulge the instincts and propensities of the flesh was not only pagan, but the direst sin. Because the body blocked the freer motions of the spirit, it had to be crucified. The spirit was all, the flesh was evil, and the deadly enemy of the immortal soul. The vehemence with which this trend swept the early church is little dreamed of by those who have not read the record.
Right. And most people haven't read the record or they've been mind controlled when they're reading it.